How's it going, my peeps? You guys know what time it is. It is now time for the Battleground 2014 prediction game video. Now for the last prediction game video, the one for Money in the Bank, none of us got all the matches right. We all got one or two matches wrong. The one I spotted the most was the Tag Team Championship match, where a lot of us thought the White family were going to walk away with the tag team titles. We're going to win the matchup, but instead, the Usos won and retained their tag team titles. A lot of us got that match wrong, and that's where we went wrong and didn't get, all the matches right because of that one match. But of course, there were also some people maybe predicting the main event wrong or something like that. But for Battleground, hopefully one of us gets all the matches right. We'll see. So, speaking of Battleground, the card is looking very promising in my opinion. I mean, you got a lot of good matches in there. And there's a lot of them that I actually thought were going to maybe start at SummerSlam instead of Battleground. For example, Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. I thought maybe that match would start at SummerSlam. That it would take place at SummerSlam, and then at Battleground you could have like Chris Jericho versus The Miz. Because, when Jericho returned, right away he attacked The Miz or hit the codebreaker on The Miz. And then they had the match on Raw, and once they had their match on Raw and it ended with, a clean victory, just a win for Jericho, that's when I kind of realized, alright, we're probably not going to get Jericho versus The Miz at Battleground, and instead it is Jericho versus Bray Wyatt right away. And, regardless of what happens in that match, whether Jericho wins or Bray Wyatt wins, I still think there's going to be a rematch at SummerSlam and possibly another match, a third match in the feud at Night of Champions. And I think it's pretty safe to say that we can probably expect the same from both AJ versus Paige and Ambrose versus Rollins, where whatever happens this Sunday, whoever wins those matches, I think there's going to be a rematch for each of those at SummerSlam, maybe with a different match type, a different stipulation, and, for the feuds to continue on. Now, for the predictions, there's 7 matches on this card. Same number of matches at Money in the Bank, except for the unannounced Damien Sandow versus Adam Rose match. But apart from that, same number of matches. Now, there's also, just like at Money in the Bank, 2 matches involving more than 2 superstars, or 2 teams. Because you've got the Battle Royal, which there's 20 superstars in that match, maybe even more if they announce more, the night of the show or something like that. And you've also got the Fatal 4-Way match. So, whenever there's matches like that, where you have to pick between more than 2 superstars or more than 2 teams, it makes it harder to get every single match right. But hey, that just makes it more challenging, and whoever gets all of them right, it just makes him that much more of a damn good predictor, if that is a word, or somebody who predicts, whatever happens on the show. Or it could just be luck. But yeah, let's get started. So, for the kickoff, or the pre-show match, whatever it's called, because I feel like on some shows they call it kickoff, and on other shows they're calling it pre-show. I think it's kickoff this time. So, it is the Funkadactyls. Or actually, maybe the former Funkadactyls, because now they're no longer the Funkadactyls. Cameron versus, or actually, I don't know, maybe there's, no, I don't think they're still the Funkadactyls. So yeah, because Cameron anyways was tagging with Alicia Fox on Raw, and, she's been fighting with Naomi. So yeah, Cameron versus Naomi. Who's going to win the match? Who is the better Funkadactyl? Well, I think I'm going to go with Naomi on this one. I think she's winning this. I mean, the thing is, usually with these feuds, when there's like a tag team breaking up, former partners breaking up, one of them turns heel, the other turns face or whatever, a lot of times I'll go with the heel getting the win. But that's because I'm thinking the feud goes on and they have a bunch of rematches on pay-per-views. But in this case, especially with the match being on the kickoff show, I think Naomi wins and that's it. If this were, program that I could see, them having a series of matches on pay-per-view, like Battleground, SummerSlam, Night of Champions, or something like that, then yeah, I would have probably went with Cameron winning the match. Because oftentimes, I feel like that's what you see, where the heel wins the first match, maybe even the second match, but at the end of the feud, the face ends up, winning the feud, or winning the last match. But in this case, I think we might just get this one-on-one match between them at Battleground, and then maybe have like a rematch on Raw or something like that. But I don't think we're gonna see another match between them at SummerSlam or Night of Champions. Maybe at SummerSlam it's like Naomi and Nikki Bella versus Cameron and Alicia Fox, but still, I'm gonna go with Naomi picking up the win here. And also, I find that most of the time on the kickoff show, faces win rather than heels. So, after that, you've got a match I'm really looking forward to. And so far, like, the segments and all have been pretty freaking awesome. Rousseff versus Jack Swagger. This one, man, I'm looking forward to this. And, you know, I liked Rousseff versus Big E. And that was like a simple feud. There wasn't like a big story behind it or anything like that. It was just, you know, Big E standing up for the USA, but there wasn't, you know, all that hype behind it. Or like there wasn't, you know, these debates like Swagger and Rusev had, or actually Lana and Zeb had. And, you know, Big E doesn't really have like this, you know, real American gimmick. He doesn't, you know. Jack Swagger is the one with the real American gimmick, and him and Zeb Coulter are the ones that have been, you know, doing the whole real American thing, you know, the We the People and all of that. So, you know, this feud should be even better. I mean, it is better. It is already better, and they haven't even had a match. I'm hoping that, you know, this feud doesn't end at Battleground. I really want to see a rematch between Rusev and Swagger at SummerSlam. But as far as the here and now and what happens at Battleground, I'm definitely going with Rusev picking up the win. Regardless of the result being predictable, I think this is going to be pretty freaking cool. Especially the crowd. But anyways, I could talk a lot about this, and I will in my detailed prediction and simulation of Swagger versus Rusev. So, after that, you've got the Tag Team Championship match, the Usos versus the Wyatt family. This is the rematch, except this time, it is a 2 out of 3 falls match. So this is also pretty cool, because we don't often see 2 out of 3 falls tag team matches. And this makes this feud between the Usos and the Wyatt family seem that much more important. And, you know, whenever they have a match, they have a good match. So when you add that stipulation, that 2 out of 3 falls stipulation to this match has a lot of potential. Could be better than any of the other matches they've had. We'll have to wait and see for that. But as far as the winners of this match, I'm gonna go with the Wyatt family on this one. I know I said the same thing for Money in the Bank, and the Usos ended up retaining, but I think this time, second time's the charm. I know it's the third time's the charm, but in this case, I think the second time is. So for that, I'm gonna go with the Wyatt family winning the tag team titles. And then after that, you've got AJ Lee defending her Divas title against Paige. Now with this one, I can see both AJ and Paige picking up the win, but I think AJ's chances are a little bit better than Paige. So I'm gonna go with AJ winning this one. And then you've got Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, 2 former Shield members facing off one-on-one. And now with this one, I initially was going to go with Ambrose as the winner, but then I thought about it a little bit more, and then I was like, no, you know what? I think Seth Rollins is winning this. So hopefully I'm right, or else I'll be like, damn, I should have just stuck with my first pick. Well, yeah, going with Rollins on this one. And then you've got Bray Wyatt versus Chris Jericho, and this was kind of the same situation where initially I was going to go with Bray Wyatt, but then I was like, nah, I think I'm going to go with Chris Jericho on this. And yeah, I'm sticking with Jericho as the winner of that match. And then after that, you've got the Battle Royal for the Intercontinental Championship. And this one, in my opinion, is the hardest match to predict on the card, because there's a bunch of superstars in there that I could see winning the match and the title. But in the end, I'm going to go with Cesaro. And then for the main event, the Fatal 4-Way between John Cena, Roman Reigns, Kane, and Randy Orton, I'm going to go with John Cena winning the match. So now that I've given you all my predictions, it's time for you guys to give me your predictions in the comment section below. As always, I'll list all the matches in the description box so you can easily give me your predictions. And if you guys enjoyed this video, you can click that like button. I'd really appreciate it. With that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.